It's great to be here today on behalf of the Invictus Games Toronto 2017 Organizing Committee. Great to be here, joined by some of my colleagues. Wonderful to have Chief Saunders back in the office. And it really is a great opportunity here today to thank so many people, in particular Tyson, Kelly, and Phil, who both in service and out of service have represented this country with such class, distinction, and what we saw here during the games was such great sportsmanship. However, a big hand for our Team Canada Invictus members. You know, these games were unprecedented for this country, and the stats bear it out. We had 111 nations watch these games. We had a viewership around the world of more than 40 million people who tuned in to watch the coverage that was going on here in Toronto. We generated more than 2 billion marketing impressions. We had 7.5 million Canadians tune in to watch the competition and the opening and closing ceremonies. And we also had a complete sellout. Not just the opening and closing ceremonies, but all of the preliminary rounds and the finals. And more than anything, we really raised the bar in terms of awareness about the unique challenges that our military families face. From 5% in 18 months to 84% awareness at the end of these games, and in Toronto, that awareness went from 8% to 97%. That's a remarkable testament on what the team, our volunteers, and Toronto Police Services and the OPP and many others were able to accomplish together. There's no question that there were incredible, memorable moments throughout these games. Whether it was having Prince Harry here in Toronto for more than 10 days, whether it was having visitors like former President Barack Obama take in some of the competition, or the incredible talent at the closing ceremonies with Bruce Springsteen and Bryan Adams on stage. But one of the moments that are memorable, one of the ones that people today continue to talk about, was the motor escorts that took place the moment our Team Canada members arrived, as well as teams from 16 other nations. Escorts that took them to the events, took them all the competition. That simple gesture, that gesture of kindness, of friendship, and gratitude, Toronto Police Services and the OPP together treated these men and women like the rock stars they are. These games were unprecedented, and we simply could not have done it without the support of Toronto Police Services and the OPP. From the very beginning, you immediately bought in to why these games were important, and you helped us give a grateful nation an opportunity to thank these heroes and our military families, both present and past, for making this the greatest country in the world. So on behalf of our entire organizing committee, let me say how grateful we are for your participation and for making our Team Canada competitors and all those from around the world feel very special throughout these historic and unprecedented games for Canada. Thank you so very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the members of the Toronto Police Service were extremely honored to take part and to assist in the Invictus Games. And that honor was led, and that commitment was led by our Chief of Police, Mark Saunders. And it gives me great honor today to welcome Chief Saunders for a few remarks. Chief.
Thank you, CEO Burns, Deputy Superintendent, and Phil, Kelly, Tyrone. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity just to say a few words. And first, you know what, the Invictus Games was such an exciting opportunity for the city of Toronto because once again, this great city got put on a world platform and we shone like we always did. And the Toronto Police Service did a fantastic job, but I think the more important piece was the fact that in order for us to be successful in today's day and age, there has to be incredibly strong collaboration, which is why we are also here. And that is to celebrate the fact that we have such a strong strong partnership, working with other organizations, and for this event, the OPP. Thank you so much for all that you have done to everybody, all the men and women that took part from the OPP, working with us to make this event such a fantastic event. You know, having sports to promote inclusion and to help give us strength is such a strong thing. And it made us as citizens of Toronto that much stronger, and we felt so proud, and proud of our athletes for the amazing job that they did. Thank you so much for representing us and doing all that you did. It was such a fantastic event, and I was so happy to be a part of it. And Michael, I can tell you, you did such an amazing job with your team and your staff in bringing it here to the city of Toronto, but doing such a fantastic job. You have set such a high bar for every other year that the Invictus Games is going to be held, because it is something that is not going to go away. It is only going to get bigger and more exciting and more vibrant because of the hard work that you had done. I remember day one when you came in and told me this is what was going to be happening, and to see it turn out to be the way that it was, I say thank you for all the hard work, all of the behind-the-scenes stuff that made this so possible, so fantastic. We are a great city, and we're so fortunate, and I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for taking part in today and for everything that was done to make the Invictus Games such a fantastic memory for so many people. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time there's going to be a special coin presentation to a number of the officers that were involved in the Invictus Games. Unfortunately, not all the members that assisted can be here today, but we look forward to those representatives being recognized in the next couple of weeks. I'd also like to ask at this point in time for Mr. Michael Burns to come back to the podium, because there's a presentation to a number of the services involved. Michael.
Right, well, it's our honor right now to recognize Toronto Police Services, the OPP, and the Traffic Service Unit. And I think that there's no better way to recognize their contribution than to present them on behalf of Team Canada. We've got Kelly, Phil, and Tyson, who have the official Invictus Games Toronto 2017 medals of gold, silver, and bronze to be presented to the three divisions that are here today: Toronto Police Services, the OPP, as well as Traffic Services here in Toronto.
Can we do individual photos on this side?
Yep. Great. Now, the one thing I will say that to describe these medals is that the designer and the manufacturer is the same designer and manufacturer that also created the engagement ring for Meghan Markle. So that is the truth.
Don't sell out then.
You have to get everybody clear out. Thank you. Look you up here, please. Hold it there for a sec. Good, Kevin? There you go.
Can I just get a shot here?
Go ahead.
Thank you.
We're good. Good. Thank you.
we have also a token of appreciation to the men and women that you see behind us. The official Invictus Games Toronto 2017 point, the challenge point that's traditionally in the Canadian forces, and again, all the way of saying thank you for all the great work that you did on behalf to make these games so special for all those involved. So, Chief Saunders, I think you're going to join me. Superintendent. There we go. Okay. Now, if I see these on eBay, I'm going to be upset. There you go. You're welcome. You got yet? I do. Yep. Thank you. Want to? How are you? So fast, oh, you got one? Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. Okay. That too? Yeah, no, okay. A little warmer, right? Sure. You get a
That's the horse. Yes. What's that? Oh, this horse is actually named Invictus, right? You want to tell me a little bit about him?
He came from Edmonton.
Okay.
And he's a full Clyde.
Full Clyde. How many hands?
Just over 17. 17-2.
17-2? Beautiful.
He's 7 years old and he's fantastic. Out of training probably within the next 3 to 4 months, I would think.
Out of training. Oh, he's still
in training. The forelock on his forehead.
Okay.
Tuck the hair. It's a forelock.
Okay.
And it makes him a remount.
Oh, okay.
It signifies it's a paramilitary thing, and it signifies to everybody around.
He's a training. Oh, okay. Well, Invictus, you're looking really good. And I don't want to diss his partner here. Who's this? Tecumseh. Invictus at Tecumseh. Beautiful. Spin those speakers this way. Oh. Okay. All right, I'm going to sign off and